Welcome to Wholesale Hotline, where we cover everything to do with wholesale real estate. I'm Jamil Damji.
I'm Brent Daniels.
And I am Pace Morby.
And together we cover the most important parts of wholesale real estate.
Lead generation.
Conversion of sellers into contracts.
And dispositions. Guys, remember when you're watching this show, do us a favor and squad up in the comments.
Make sure that you are liking and subscribing to the YouTube channels and in the Facebook group Wholesale Hotline.
Most important, we want to know we're doing a great job for you and helping you build your business. So go give us a review on iTunes and or Spotify.
So squad up and enjoy the show!
Welcome to Wholesale Hotline number 145. I'm Brent Daniels, Mr. TTP, Mr. Talk to People, and coming in the door right now, wearing his favorite white hoodie, is my man, my co-host, Jamil Damji.
What's
How are you,
up?
brother? Great to see you.
Great to see you too. How you doing, guys?
I wanted to open this up with two things I've been thinking a lot about. Number one is the Parkinson law.
Yep.
Parkinson law is states that the work expands to fill the time available for its completion. Okay. That means if you set a goal, hey, I want to do this, I want to lose 15 pounds in the next 6 months, it'll take you 6 months to lose the 15 pounds.
Right.
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 This is a very typical psychological law that a lot of people fall into.
Yes.
And so thinking about people that are getting their first deals or hiring their first people or expanding their business or buying their first rental, flipping their first house, you have to set a timeline. You have to set a time. It can't just be, I'm going to do it. I'm going to learn. I'm going to take this period of time to learn, and then I'm going to go out there and at some point I'm going to do this thing. You need to have a specific amount of time. And then you have to have the conviction that you're going to go out and do it.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So number one is you have to set, you got to give yourself some parameters. I'm going to get a deal this week. There's a classic thing that Tom Kroll always said on the Wholesaling Inc. podcast until his attorney told him not to say it. But it was, if somebody kidnapped your child and you had to get a wholesale deal in order to get your child back, how fast could you do it? Right? Could you do it within 24 hours? Could you do it within 4 hours? Could you do it in 2 days? Could you do it in 2 minutes? Right? Where's the conviction? Where's the fire? Where's the timeline? Right? If you absolutely had to do it, could you do it? And I think that that's fantastic. I think it's something to think about.
It's a very real thing. And, you know, have I shared that experiment that Dr. Cook did?
Please.
Well, I've shared it a couple of times, and if you guys have heard this already before, you're going to hear it again. But this is the crux of it. So Dr. Cook is this individual sports psychologist who dealt only with champions.
Yeah.
Okay. He worked only with the cream of the cream, like the most high level basketball, baseball, football players on the planet.
Yeah.
And he wanted to figure out the difference between like physical limits and your spiritual limit. Like, can somebody actually go 110%? Right. And so what he did is he put together this amazing experiment where he had, have you ever done a stress test before?
Yeah.
So like a stress test, he would have these athletes come and go on a treadmill, and he would increase the incline on the treadmill until they were at their max.
I'm doing one tomorrow.
Okay, so
doing one
you'll
tomorrow.
remember this.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is, and I'm going to try to do this as quickly as possible. So here's how it went.
Yeah.
So he finds this Marine, this guy, he's like highly competitive. He says, I'm the best. I'm going to beat everybody. There's no one who's going to be as good as I am. He puts him on the stress test, and the Marine has this ambition to be the top guy who ever does this experiment.
Of course.
Well, they go. And at around 26 minutes, the Marine taps out. Like his like chest is exploding. He can't breathe anymore. He taps out and he says, okay, how did I do? And Dr. Cook says, you did fantastic. Like, I think
That's
probably in one of the top.
It only goes 30 minutes.
One of the top performers I've ever seen, right?
Yeah.
And so he's like, okay, great. how long did I go? Now, for the sake of the experiment, Dr. Cook lies. And he says, you went 28 minutes.
Wow.
And so this is what we're going to do. Next week, you're going to come back and you're going to beat 28.
Right.
Here's how we're going to beat 28. You're going to write down beat 28, beat 28, beat 28. You're going to put it on your phone, put it on all over your walls, put it in your calendar. Everywhere you see, you're going to beat 28. Comes back the next week. What happens? Gets on the test. The only thing that's different is there's a clock there now. And at 28.5, he taps out. Right? So he goes 2.5 extra minutes. So he's pumped. He's like, I'm beating records. Dr. Cook says, okay, coming back next week. Comes back next week, gets on the treadmill, and he sees, wait, there's no clock. So he's like, you don't need a clock. You're the best.
Yeah.
So he goes. 26 minutes. His heart's about to explode. Right. He taps out.
Right.
He goes 26 minutes.
Yeah.
So he asks Dr. Cook, how long did I go? Dr. Cook lies to him and says, you went 29 minutes. So what does he do? He says, come back. We're going to do it again next week. Beat 29, right? Beat 29 all over the place. So he goes home. He's got beat 29 all over the place. Comes back next week. Clock is there, 29.5. 29. He goes 29.5. Yeah. What does that tell you? That tells you that if you make the decision and if you give yourself the opportunity to beat what you think you can beat, you will absolutely beat it. And I think that's what's happening for all the people who have not yet beat 28. For all of you guys who have not beat 29, what does that mean metaphorically for us as wholesalers? If you have not gotten your first deal, that means you have not made it your goal to get your first deal. Even though you might have this like concept in your mind that, oh, I'm going to get my first deal. You have not created for yourself the conditions that are conducive to you getting your first deal because you have not given yourself a limit. You have not given yourself parameters. You haven't given yourself rules of the game that you're playing. You're floating. And because you're floating, nothing's happening.
Well, and it's a classic education loop. It's a classic voyeur loop where you see everybody else doing amazing things and you know that you can do it too, but you're just not taking the action yet because you're not running towards my dad sent this great Thanksgiving Day email this morning and he talked about and my dad's like uber Catholic and it came from one of the cardinals or priests or whatever here and it talked about running towards love and away from fear. Right? Stop running away from fear, run towards love type of thing, and run towards the goals that you have, run towards the things that are incredible, run towards every single day, try to find the love in your day that you can run towards every single day. And what people don't understand is that when you go out there and you find somebody that is willing to sell their property, and this property is in rough condition, the service that you're providing them by making that an easy process, because it can turn into a nightmare if you hire the wrong real estate agent. It can turn into a nightmare if you just leave it up to, trying to sell it for sale by owner or whatever else. When you have somebody that's guiding you through that process and then finding the actual investment to go into that street, into that community and invest in that area, it turns the whole area around. Only 9% of our country is occupied. Okay. Only 9%. And it's not growing because they're not building, right? That means that older neighborhoods have to be refreshed for younger people. That all makes sense, right? And when investment comes from cash buyers into these streets, into these communities, I talked about it on my live show last week, you get the 6 C's. You get schools, you get security, you get streets, you get sanitation, you get spaces, and you get services. All 6 of those are increased by what we do on a daily basis, bringing investment into these communities to refresh them and then get new families into it.
And I want to point out that you can still be a rich mofo and not know the difference between the letter S and the letter C.
What's C?
I don't know. You said the 6 C's, but it's the
6 S's. 6 S's. Did I say C? Yeah. Oh, yeah. 6 S's. Yeah. The 6 S's.
The 6 S's.
I was thinking the 5 C's of Arizona.
But it's the 6 S's, which is success.
Is
6S.
Yeah, the 6 S's. That's right. But I'm telling you, it's incredible.
You're incredible.
I'm just telling you. We bring the investment into the communities. It's a wonderful job.
There's no doubt in my mind that anybody who is approaching this business in today's market, okay, that you have in front of you one of the most incredible opportunities to grow and gain as a wholesaler. Everybody that's sitting on the sidelines right now is saying the market's hard, the market's tough. You are waiting. You are missing out. Brent, when did you make the most on if you had kept every one of the properties that you had wholesaled in 2010, 11, 12, how excited would you be right now?
Incredible. But that wasn't the position I was in. I wasn't in a position to own a bunch of real estate.
But how many opportunities
but
were
holy cow, there was, I mean, you talk about, I mean, you were buying those things at
25K?
Yeah. 25% of what they're at now, minimum, maybe 10% of what they're at now.
And look at what we're walking into. Like, look at the opportunities that we're walking into right now. And guys, if you think that buyers aren't buying, that means that you're not talking to enough buyers.
Right.
There are tremendous opportunities. There's tremendous buyers. There's tremendous volume out there right now. Traditionally, Thanksgiving, the month of November, is a slow month for Keegley. Traditionally, it's slower. We've done more volume this Thanksgiving than we did last Thanksgiving.
Just getting started. Why do you think it is?
Buyers are ready.
Yeah.
And the deals that we're getting right now are deeper than they've ever been. Deeper than they were the last time around.
Mm-hmm.
Guys, there's so much opportunity. So much opportunity. You're just waiting. You're waiting and wasting time.
The second thing I want to talk about is your financial thermostat. You familiar with this?
No.
Okay, so by the time, from the age of being a baby to like 13, 14, a lot of what we think about finances is ingrained into our brain. We create a financial thermostat that once we go over.
And who gives us that thermostat? Our parents?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's really your subconscious mind,
okay,
which is affected by the people that you're around, the things that you read, the things that you see, and the things that you hear.
Yep.
Right. Affect your subconscious mind, which then go into your conscious mind, which controls your behaviors and your actions.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And so if you grew up and there was a lot of that, we can't afford it. Rich people are greedy. Rich people are scammers.
The only way that guy got rich is because, or that lady got rich is because they pooped on everybody in front of them in order to get there.
Yeah. Money doesn't grow on trees. There's no way that we could ever afford to go to those things. All of those things, right? All that stuff that's around. Or you just live in a situation where, you are, everything that you make is gone by the end of the month, right? Just hand to mouth. It's just gone. So money becomes this really, really, really sacred thing.
Yep.
That is really guarded and really kind of like, oh my gosh. Right. So that sets up your financial thermostat. And what happens is once we start going and once we start getting in and we start getting into the age that we're actually out there providing value to the marketplace and to the community from 18 to 45 or whatever else, really in the hustle zone, really in that grind, really, really, really go and we start earning some money. That's when you see a lot of people just start spending it. Once they get to that thermometer, maybe it's set at $3,000 a month. Maybe it's set at $5,000 a month. Maybe it's set at $10,000 a month. But if you make over that, this certainly happened to me in my 20s. You buy the cars, you buy the bigger houses, you get into more debt. You go and buy you start paying for everything for everybody all the time. And what happens is you feel good because your thermostat is set low, and that keeps you rich, but it doesn't get you wealthy. Right. Yep. And you're always out there having to work. You're always out there on the grind. You're not building an actual business or a system. You're just building a really highly paid job for yourself because you're not able to invest and get that passive income that pulls you out of having to do the day-to-day active income.
Right.
Earned income.
Right.
You get more of the passive income when you go and you invest. And a lot of people don't get to that point because they're financial thermostat is too low. And they start sabotage.
That's a great insight. And the self-sabotage kicks in. Holy crap, dude.
Well, you see it all the time. You see it with people that grow their business in like 6 months, huge. And then it's like all of a sudden they have to like their income isn't growing huge. They're just increasing the amount of responsibility that they have in their business, or they go out there and they go, oh, it's a business expense. Oh, it's a business expense. It's not a business expense. It's still an expense. It's still a liability. Well, I have my rentals paying for my Lamborghini. As opposed to what? Going into an asset?
Yeah. Why wouldn't you want your rentals to pay for other cooler things, or pay down your house, or just stock in your bank. Instead, you want your Lamborghini to, show everybody how big your weenie is.
Well, it's a part of I think it goes into the self-sabotage. I really do. I think that you start making the quick decisions to go out there and spend a lot of money or expand your business too fast without the principles. You get the principles in place and you build huge businesses, and they're fantastic.
Yeah.
And they're profitable. And that's fantastic. But if you're not in that position yet, just really watch your financial thermostat, especially for the young entrepreneurs.
So at what point is it okay to go start buying the Lamborghinis?
When you can buy 2 or 3 of them cash. Yeah. That's a Jay-Z thing. Is it Jay-Z? If you can't buy it twice, you can't afford it. If you can't buy it twice cash, you can't afford it.
Oh, I like it though. Yeah.
Yeah. I feel the same with a lot of real estate. I know that seems crazy, but leverage, liquor, and lovers are the 3 things that destroy successful people. So that's Warren Buffett, by the way. So something to think about there. Is it 3 times, Anthony? There you go. If you can't buy it 3 times cash, you can't afford it. I think that's probably good.
I love it.
Yeah. So just a couple thoughts there. Parkinson's law, you can make this happen a lot faster if you set an end date and then really watch your financial thermostat. And listen, some people buy the Lambos, buy the boats, go bananas, get in debt, do all the things. You're just going to have to work harder. You're just going to have to be stressed. You're going to have to build the business that supports that. And that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we're only on this planet for a specific amount of time.
Correct.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
So live it up. But I think that, if you want better sleep, in my opinion, be able to afford the things 3 times over before you buy them.
Love it.
Yeah.
Best advice, my man. Best advice. Guys,
Awesome.
We are ready to answer.
Don't forget the 6 C's.
Yes.
The 6 S's.
We are ready to answer whatever questions you have about wholesaling, wholesale real estate, contracts, comping. You want to know the current state of the market. If you're looking at where or ARVs have depressed to in your specific market, ask away, guys. We have the answers.
Yeah. Alan, the last one, liquor, lovers, and leverage. Getting into debt. Awesome. Let's go to this one here. I was wondering how you emerge UAEN light. Okay. How do you emerge from being overwhelmed from the tools, data, and the market?
Action. What you're showing me right now, what's happening is if you are being overwhelmed by tools, data, and the market, you're still in analysis. You're still like looking and analyzing, what am I working with here? What do I have here? What's this tool going to do for me? And if you're looking at the data, you're trying to still make a decision on whether or not you should even take action or make a step or what you should be taking action towards. Like, should you be looking at this as a creative deal? Should you be looking at this as a cash deal? Should you be looking at this to wholesale? Should you be looking at this to fix and flip? Should you be trying to buy and hold? Again, if you are asking these questions, you probably aren't taking definitive action. And the way that you would stop yourself from being overwhelmed is by being super focusing on one specific thing, and then just doing that relentlessly until you get a result.
Yeah, a lot of people hide behind data and tools. It's a distraction, right? Doubt, disappointment, and distraction really throws you off. And so a lot of people hide behind that because you don't want to go out there and get your heart broke by the first person that doesn't want to do a deal with you, or so the first person that's not pleasant with you or whatever else. You're going to have to talk to a lot of people that don't want you in their life. They don't, right?
True.
I mean, they really don't. And unless you can afford marketing. If you can afford marketing, you can have people call you, and it's a lot easier of a conversation. There's still a ton of them that are like, don't send me mail. I hate your YouTube, your Facebook ads or YouTube ads or whatever it is that you're running. I hate your billboards or whatever else. Don't come by my house and hang trash on the door, whatever it is. They still will get you there, but you're going to deal with more rejection when you talk to more people, especially if you're interrupting their day by reaching out to them, right? But then there will be people that need your help. that aren't going to raise their hand.
That's just it.
And you don't have to have a huge budget. I mean, I did a podcast interview last week, and incredible. He's a police officer, pulls all of his data for free on Free People Finder.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
Driving for dollars, free. Just writes down the addresses. Calls them from Free People Finder or True People Finder, whichever one.
TruePeopleSearch.com. Yep.
And he's done 6 deals.
Amazing, but
Part-time.
But wholesaling is illegal.
Yeah. Yeah, especially for police officers, especially in California.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Yeah. Shout out James. Great conversation.
Good job, James.
Great conversation.
And James, if you're watching this, thank you for your service.
Yep. Former, he was in the Army as well. Incredible guy. But I'm just telling you, you just need a name, address, phone number.
Yes.
That's it. And that's not even talking, and that's talking directly to the property owner, let alone the talking to people that represent the property owner, talking to agents. How was that? How was it finding the buyers? The golden, was that the latest one?
My latest challenge?
No, the Monopoly one. Mr. Moneybags.
Incredible, dude. Incredible. Bro, the buyers are buying.
Yeah.
You
see a stabilization.
Yeah, the market
it's
is
off.
the buyers have completely stabilized right now. They're just, all you have to do is make sure that you're getting the deals deep enough. And you want to know what's even better right now, Brent?
Yeah.
Is that it's never been easier to find a wholesale deal, because right now the on-market stuff, oh my God, it's like taking candy from a baby. It's literally like taking candy from a baby. The on-market
people get nervous if their house doesn't sell in 48 hours.
Yeah, but like that whole concept is over.
Yeah.
My house is going to sell in a couple, like it's way over. But like going into the holidays right now, oh my God. Like you can hop on the MLS, forget looking at Tool, forget looking at, something that's paid. You can go to Zillow, go to realtor.com. All those are free. And just look at anything that's been sitting on the market 30, 60, 90 days and comp it and give them a disrespectful offer, and you can get it. You can get it. As long as you are aligning to the listing agent, incentivizing the listing agent to take a leap of faith and actually present your offer to the seller, you can get it.
Well, is it disrespectful if they accept it?
No.
So it's not a disrespectful
It's not
offer.
I just want you to feel like it is. That's how low you guys got to get, and feel confident and comfortable giving those numbers out.
Well, that's just lowballing.
No, it's not. That's business. The market is where it is right now. If something isn't selling at $1,000, okay, let's just use that number as the benchmark. If something's not selling at 1,000, at 800, at 700, at 500, if I come in and offer $1,000 and they take it, am I lowballing? No, it's where the market is.
Well, it's like anything else.
It's where the market is.
Well, I've been watching a lot about inflation and what the extra costs are for like these big chain restaurants. It's nothing. They haven't seen an increase in price at all, but they increase their prices because people will pay it.
And same thing happened with supermarkets.
But that's cool. That's moral. That's ethical. That's fine.
I don't think so.
I mean,
but people are doing it, and we're still paying it. And I'll tell you what,
it's business, though.
Yeah, I waited 45 minutes for a seat at a restaurant yesterday.
Yeah, plenty of people still going. Curtis, how do we get in the habit of dialing motivated seller leads every day for a certain amount of hours a day? I love it. You don't start with a certain amount of hours, Curtis. I mean, you certainly can. If you have some experience in it, if you have sales experience, if you have phone experience, customer service experience on the phone, whatever that is, and you have that endurance, but you could start with 1 call a day and just double it each day, and then just see how many that you can go, right? It's you don't just wake up and run a marathon, right? You train for it. You run a mile, you run a couple miles. You know what I mean? You have to build up your endurance for running a marathon. And so don't just be like, oh my gosh, I got to get up and make 3 hours of calls. You can do it if you have that experience, if you have that motor, right? But for most of us, it's scary. For most of us, it's like 1 call and you're like, oh my gosh, I can't get past that 1 call. And then you just double it and double it and double it and start building it up. What do you think?
I think that's a great baby step approach. And I think that if that's what you need, if you need to get up and just do 1 call tomorrow, get up and do 1 call tomorrow. And if that means that you're going to do 2 calls the next day, amazing. And if that means you'll do 4 calls the next day, amazing. But, understand that you're not going to get to a deal fast that way, right? It's not going to happen quick enough, or it's not going to happen. It will, if you're going that slow, the likelihood of you quitting before you get to the deal that you're looking for and getting your proof of concept is a lot higher, right? So why is it that we try to get you guys to take massive action? What's the point of taking massive action? Well, because if you cast a wide enough net, and if you do enough effort and you do it consistently, you will get the result. Robin Sharma, he has an incredible way to a formula on how to get to a habit and get to something where you can be the most effective and efficient with only working 90 minutes a day. It's called the 90-90-90 formula, okay? For 90 days, you do the same high yield activity for 90 minutes, and you do only the one activity, okay? Only the one activity for 90 days.
Okay.
And if you do it for 90 days,
And 90 minutes?
And for 90 minutes, okay? And you remove all distractions, there is no way you can fail. But it's 90 days, 90 minutes. 90 days, 90 minutes. Same activity. Whatever that activity is. So if it's cold calling, talking to homeowners, 90 minutes of cold calling first thing in the morning for 90 days. If it's calling agents, 90 minutes of calling agents for 90 days. If it's talking to wholesalers, if it's comping properties, whatever that is, 90 minutes of activity for 90 days.
There you go. The exact opposite advice.
Well, I mean, it's up to you, whatever you want,
I just know people aren't going to go 90 days raw dog right off the bat for 90 minutes calling people if they're scared. They got to ease into it. I totally disagree.
Well,
I understand massive imperfect action, but you got, by the time, if you double it every day, by the time it's the 10th day, you're calling 500 people.
I mean, that's also incredible.
It's just, you got to get past the fear. Right?
That's true.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
You got to get past the fear. But once you do, I mean, listen, totally broke, needed to do everything.
Yep.
I had to do it.
Yep.
If you don't lose it all
Yep.
and like have nothing
Yep.
left and like really tapped,
Yep.
you gotta find that motivation just natural, especially if you've got a job.
Yeah.
You're doing this part-time.
Yep.
And you're trying to replace your current income with this. The fact is most people only go, you make enough money to cover your expenses. That's most people, right?
Yep.
And to get excess of that, you have to do some extra things, right? You gotta change, you gotta evolve, you gotta be a business person and go out there and create a business that is going to replace your current income, and then you could go bananas. But 90 minutes, 90 days, that is incredible. I mean,
is it a lot? Is it a lot though? Is 90 minutes really a lot?
I don't think so.
I mean, maybe it is. Maybe I just expect more,
Yeah.
But I feel like, what's the point of dipping a toe in?
I hear you.
That's the reason why we are who we are. We each have our perspectives and opinions. And look, if it means that you won't quit, if it means that going one a day and then doubling it is what's going to keep you in the business, do that. Do that.
Well, it's just the endurance, right? I mean, it's that, and it's also like going to, it really tests if you want it.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Well, the 90 and 90 does as well. So, I mean, different approaches. Do you need business insurance for wholesaling?
It's not a bad idea to have business insurance when you're wholesaling. It's not a bad idea to have business insurance anytime you're in business. And so, I think it's a good idea. We have general liability insurance at Keegley. We've had it since we've been open. How about you? What would you say?
Yeah, E&O insurance.
Mm-hmm.
We've got E&O insurance, but not like when I was doing my first deals.
Right.
Yeah. No.
Yeah. Until you're a legitimate, like, functioning business, I think that you're safe. Again, it's going to come bite me in the ass. At least have an LLC set up. At least have an LLC set up so that you have protection.
What do you think of this? Oh, hold on. Where'd it go? The question was, can you do deals in any market area? This is a great question.
Can't we do deals in any market area? I mean, theoretically, you can do deals everywhere and anywhere, but the situation you might find is that there's going to be certain markets that don't have a lot of activity. And if those markets don't have a lot of activity, a lot of buyers, then you're not going to find a lot of comps. And if you can't find a lot of comps and a lot of buyers, you're not going to actually get a lot of luck selling those deals. And so can you wholesale and can you do deals in those markets? Absolutely. Is it going to be harder? Yeah. Right. So I like to focus in markets with a lot of action, a lot of activity, a lot of competition. And the reason I like to do that is because I know that there's always going to be a buyer ready to take my deal if I get my deal locked up low enough, right? So, personally, I like to play in markets with a lot of activity, but it's opposite day to day. So, what do you think?
I love small markets. No, no, I couldn't. No, I agree. Listen, like, I think you need to follow where the economics of the market are. Is it a growing economy in your area, or is it just level, or is it is it going away? I mean, is there no action? And you could do deals, but you have to get them, instead of getting them at 50%, you got to get them at 10%,
right,
or 1%, or whatever it is, for somebody to be able to want to buy that. And usually it's somebody that kind of owns the town anyway, if you're in a really, really, really small market. So, and you kind of run out of opportunity. You want to look for the inventory where, one, there's enough product, but also there's enough buyers, right? And the buyers really determine everything in it. So I would say that if you're in a smaller market, that market, you feel comfortable with that market, investors in the market, great. But at some point you're going to have to expand.
Yep.
I mean, Jamil does a whole country. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So there has to be expansion at some point, especially in a small town. So I agree there.
Pace says he has key man insurance as well. And that's actually great. If you have a business with some key players in it that, if somebody got hurt, somebody died, it could completely crush the business. Having key man insurance is really important as well. We did that as soon as we started Keegley. We had key man insurance on myself, Josiah, Rahima, and Hunter, just in case, God forbid, something ever happened to us. Yeah.
Heidi in Arizona, crushing it. 5 deals, 1 on market that we assigned today. The rest are off market, 2 direct to seller, 2 with other wholesalers. Come on.
Yeah. She's killing it, man. Holy moly.
That
She's just
is
crushing
awesome.
it. She's crushing it.
Corey wants to
get a question answered.
Get right to the top here.
There
All
you
right,
go.
Corey,
He's no business. No, he's got no nonsense. No nonsense. Corey has a question. Thanks for the donation there. You can buy some protein powder for Brent.
There we go.
Corey asks, as a new person working with Keegley, how would I add my fee on top of a buyer's price? Or is there a video on this on your YouTube channel? Great question, Corey. I'm going to imagine that you went and found one of Keegley's deals, and then you shop that deal to one of your buyers. Here's the thing to note about shopping any wholesaler's deal. Typically, if you're going to shop a wholesaler's deal, you're going to add your price on top. But that doesn't mean that you couldn't call Keegley before shopping the deal and find out, hey, what kind of margin do you have on this? And if I bring a buyer to the table, can you fit me in at your price? So, Corey, how you would want to work a deal like this in the future is, before you start marketing the deal, reach out to a rep at Keegley and find out, hey, what price do you want me to market this at? Can I market it at the same price as you guys? Is there enough margin in the deal for us to do that? There may or may not be. Sometimes we have like really tight deals with really, really small markups, and there may not be margin to cut you in at our price. Not that we wouldn't want to, it's just not there. And so the answer to that is to talk to Keegley prior to marketing the deal and find out, do you need to add on top, or can you get fit in at the price?
Jacques Hernandez, buy, sell, says, how do you leave the fear at the beginning? First, I don't think I did. I think I was scared the whole time. I think I just fought past that. You know what I mean? I think I was just like back against the wall. You know what I mean? They say rock bottom is the best because it's a strong foundation, and it truly was. And so I think whenever it's something like that, there's something I don't know, and maybe you have this too. I'm sure, but there's like an inner dialogue in me that's like, I can do this. I can if I bash my head against this wall hard enough, it's going to break, type of thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If I go and do everything that I possibly can every single day to try to find somebody that wants to sell their property and then match them up with somebody that has money and get in the middle of that, it's going to work. And so the fear was always there.
Yeah.
I mean, what helps with the fear is your squad.
Yeah. Your squad. And then I got a lot of examples of where I've seen kind of fear be overshadowed by action, right? And for instance, we did that golden ticket event.
Yeah.
We had TTP students, Astro students, and Sub 2 students converge in Phoenix, Arizona. And these were all people who hadn't really done anything yet. They hadn't really taken their first steps. They hadn't made first calls. They were all, the entire room was full of fear. The entire room was fearful. And we watched the fear dissolve before our eyes. And what was what pushed the fear out of them?
Squad.
It was being around people and being around people and then taking action.
Well, yeah.
Right? Those things. So
but people were crying.
People were crying.
As soon as they got off the phone, boom, just emotions.
Yeah.
Just like snotty crying, like the whole thing, like made their first call for the first time. And then you see them when they came back to them again, and they were composed. They were normal. They were talking like they were talking to their aunt or uncle or friend or neighbor or something like that. So, I think that, we build it up into our head, how things are going to be. And we kind of let that fear attack us a bit, but then you start taking action, start seeing the other people take action. And I think it really helps. I think it really, really helps.
100% agree.
Yeah.
100% agree.
So it was, that was, awesome event. And listen, you said you could cut the fear with a knife in that room.
It was palpable. It was like, and it felt, other than the fact that it was Halloween weekend, it felt scary in there.
Yeah.
It was like, it was a lot going on, and people were feeling it. And you could sense that they knew at the end of that day that they would have, like, theoretically walked on fire, and they did.
Mm-hmm.
They walked on fire.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It wasn't a physical thing. It was a mental thing. And but you need that. I tried doing that years and years and years ago with the Super Saturday thing that I would hold every single Saturday and have people come in, and they were so scared they wouldn't go in just before I was making calls for a while, and they saw it, and they saw the me on the speakerphone making all these calls. And guys, I've talked to 45,000 property owners. 45,000. The first 1,000 were the scariest things of all time. After that, you could talk to anybody. So if you want to be a unbelievable, no matter what market it is, a good market, a bad market, a flat market, if you want to make a lot of profit every single year in, year out, you need to learn how to communicate. You need to learn how to have quality conversations with distressed property owners or those who represent them. You absolutely do. Or your staff. But if you're just starting out and you don't have a huge budget, how are you going to get a staff? You're just going to hire somebody that's going to work for free because they have the gift of gab. It's not going to work.
Yeah.
It's not. That's why you see a lot of partnerships, I think. Where do you see yourself in the next 10 years? It's a tough one.
Yeah. In the next 10,
How old will you be in 10 years?
I'll be 53 in 10 years.
I'll be 51.
Yeah. So, let's be real, right? I'm in the peak of my career right now, right? I've got my company. It's flourishing even in a down market, which is amazing. I'm watching the Astro flipping community just turn into the most incredible community of wholesalers ever. I'm watching my best friend create the most incredible, community of creative finance and real estate investors. I'm watching my other best friend here create an incredible community of wholesalers and real estate investors. And I'm watching all these people, all these students that we're helping become monsters in their own right. I have a fantastic television show on A&E. I've got a fantastic relationship with my family. I'm at the top. And you know what the real G's do? they leave at the top. And so I don't know. I think in 5 years, y'all might not have Wholesale Hotline with Jamil Damji. Maybe one of you guys will have replaced me by then. I'm gonna do this until I don't want to do it anymore.
Right.
And then at that point, I'll have made enough money to turn it off, and y'all might just find me hanging out on Venice Beach.
Love it.
See what's up.
Yeah, I don't know. 10 years seems like I think of myself at 31 and the person I am at 41, and it's a totally different life. It's a totally different person.
Yeah, what about you?
It's a totally different thing. Yeah, I don't know. Build something and sell it. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So do you think in 10 years you'll have like slowed it down?
I don't know. I think that is, I'm really enjoying it. You know what I mean? I think I'm really enjoying it. And as long as I can be of value, I'm going to do it for as long as I can. I'm going to be one of those old guys that what's his face?
Ron LeGrand.
You're wrong.
I love Ron.
Yeah.
He's amazing.
Yeah.
You know? I don't know. I already feel like life is incredible, and I'm loving every minute of it. And so as long as I feel as inspired as I do today, in 10 years, I'll still be doing it.
Yep.
But maybe I won't.
Yep.
I'm open to the possibility that life can change, because I know it will.
Well, and I think that as an entrepreneur, there is a challenge to build something and sell it for a multiple.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, it really is.
Well, did you see that Homevestors just sold at 35x?
To who?
Private equity.
Really?
Yep.
There you go.
That puts us at 350.
That puts you, huh?
That puts us at 350.
Yeah.
Today.
Yeah. Come on. Love it. Amen to that. 117K this month. The Astro Way. Come on, Rocky.
Hey, Rocky! Let's go.
That is awesome.
35x, dude.
Yeah.
Pace will have more than 2 more kids. You kidding me? In 10 years, I got that man. That man.
Yeah, it's 10 years is I don't know. Do you put out 10-year goals?
I don't have a 10-year goal. I have a 5-year goal.
Yeah.
Yep. And I'm well past the 5-year goal already.
Yeah. Yeah. Hi guys, rookie question here. In the state of Texas, dual agency is illegal. So what would the agent who represent me gain if I wholesale the property?
So Melissa, again, it's just one of those things. It's not actually illegal. Frowned upon, and many brokers don't like it, but there is a process to do dual representation in Texas. Here is the way that I approach Texas agents who have, and here's what I will agree, that like 80% of Texas agents think that dual representation is illegal. So I'm not surprised that you think that. And I'm not surprised that you've heard that. And some brokers even believe that. So how I incentivize agents in Texas to do business with me is I have them refer me my agent. So I'll tell the agent that I'm talking to, the listing agent, I'll say, hey, I'm not working with anybody. And I'll say, will you represent me? And they'll say, I can't, it's illegal. Oh, I didn't know that. Well, I'm sure you have a friend, maybe a relative or somebody in your office that you really trust and love, that you'd love to see get this business. Can you put me in with them? Now, here's what happens. That person is going to see me as equity, right? They're going to see me as an individual that they can go give a gift to their friend with. So if maybe they refer me to their daughter, maybe they refer me to their best friend, maybe they refer me to somebody in their office who they want to have a favor on. But whatever it is, the person that they refer me to is going to be in their friend circle, is going to be a part of their world. So even though this agent may not be getting the 3% directly, it's going to their sphere of influence, and that's going to matter. It's still going to incentivize them. So, Melissa, the way that I go around it is by having that listing agent still refer me to somebody to act as my buyer's rep.
There's another one here.
No, I've been reading your comments. We've been reading everything you're saying in here, dude.
I see it, brother. Look, he's going to be basically
He's
going to
be worth $1 billion. He said. I'm going to be worth no less than $1 billion, and I'm going to have like 1,000 employees. He said
4,000.
4,000 employees and be worth no less
Pace,
than $1 billion.
We're reading it, brother. We're reading it.
Is
we
it
miss you.
Yeah, bro. Where are you on a plane right now,
Pace? On a plane.
Guys, Pace is going to Arkansas.
What for?
He's actually going to give. Him and his he picked his family up and they went to Arkansas so he can go feed like a couple hundred people for Thanksgiving in Arkansas. He's going to meet with a student who's got a deal going on over there, and that person has a connection to a group that has families in need, and especially in this time of year, it's always, you know, in Pace's heart and all of our hearts to like give back to the community. And so on a whim, Pace just hit me up. He's like, "Hey, I'm going to Arkansas. Want to come?" I'm like, "I can't because I already got plans." But yeah, they got in a flight, and him and Laura and the babies are all heading to Arkansas right now. He's gonna feed hundreds of people turkey dinner.
Awesome.
Amazing.
Get him, Pacer. Michelle, what is the advantage of pocket listings besides that they are not on the market yet? Should I treat them differently when submitting an offer? Great question. You want to crack it open?
Yeah.
And I'll take a stab at it.
So a pocket listing, Michelle, had a little bit more, well, a lot in the past, and even now still, you know, buyers tend to like an off-market deal because nobody's seen it, right? Now, again, on-market opportunities right now are doing really well if you can get them significantly below list price, which is happening, you know, a lot. So I'd say that the off-market opportunities are not as attractive as they may have been, say, 6 months ago, but they're still attractive. So the first advantage is that the buyers that you'll be marketing these deals to think that the property is fresher, right? They feel like nobody's seen it. It's more exclusive. It might have more, you know, better meat on it. It could be just a better deal. And so I think the biggest advantage of the pocket listing is that it's exclusive. Nobody's seen it. The second advantage that I think that you have when dealing with a pocket listing is that you can literally, well, depending on who you're dealing with, but you can get it without the price stamp. Now, the price stamp of an MLS list price can be hard on your buyer if they go to flip that later and then they have to get a retail appraisal on it. So having it off market creates that or removes that price history that can become
the buyers.
It affects the buyer's exit. It affects the buyer's psychology a little bit. Yeah. But again, if you can get a property under contract significantly less than list price, it also affects the buyer's psychology. It's like, for instance, that deal that I got under contract in my block, right? In my neighborhood.
Yeah.
Bro, this house listed at $1.8 million, right? I had it at $1 million, and then I decided to walk at $1 million.
Yeah.
And then they said, "What's the number?" I said, 800,000.
Yeah.
And they reduced. Bro.
Are you going to buy it?
Yes.
800,000.
At 800,000.
That's bananas.
So, but you know, I could wholesale this right now.
Yeah.
I could easily put this deal out for $1 million.
Yeah.
With it listed at 1.8.
Yeah.
And I sell it at $1 million.
Oh yeah.
I could make a $200,000 assignment fee on that house.
Is it listed right now? Or
yeah,
was
it's listed right now. Listing? It's active listing.
And they took $1 million
They
off.
took $1 million off list price.
Come on.
That's what's happening in the market right now. Yeah, I mean it. Like you don't understand what kind of opportunities are sitting there on the MLS.
Well, and that's the other thing. I mean, so and I wanted to ask you this: in a transitioning market, or now it's kind of leveled, but it was real hairy there, kind of after June 15th. With when I mean hairy, a lot of properties were just staying on the market and not selling,
right?
And then they reduced. From an appraiser standpoint, when these properties get fixed up, they see everything that's happened. They see what it was listed for. They see what it was bought for. Then you have to go in. You got to show them, okay, here's all the contractor stuff. The title company makes you go and put in all your contractor bids and make sure that everything was done and everything was paid for and everything, at least here in Arizona. And then when it's getting appraised, once it's already fixed up, are the appraisers, are they looking goofy at all at these flips because they saw it was bought for so low and selling for so high?
Big time.
In this market?
Big time.
So
Big time.
they coming in low?
So the appraisers are coming in a little bit low.
And that's throwing off the buyers
and that's
as well.
throwing off buyers as well.
Yeah.
Again, that's why that's the second. Like, I only think that those are the only two advantages of a pocket listing, is that your buyers think it's a freshie and that it doesn't have a price stamp on it that could become problematic for a buyer once they take the retail exit. But other than that, I don't see there being much more of a benefit. Am I leaving anything out?
You got it.
Yeah.
I mean, pocket listings, it's just try to find the ugly ones. Try to find the ones that need some love. You know what I mean? Find the ones where, yeah, they want to list it, but they don't really want to list it, right? There's a little bit of something going on there with the actual owner that's saying, if we don't have to put this on the market, I don't want to. And some of that could just be embarrassment because of the condition of the property. It could just be something where they don't want to deal with a lot of inspectors. They don't want to deal with a lot of offers. They don't want to deal with anything. They just want to get it done as quickly as possible. Remember, speed, convenience. Speed and convenience. They will trade price for speed and convenience.
Sean just says here, he defines pocket listing as an exclusive real estate listing that is not advertised to the general public. And I think, again, the word exclusive being the key there. So thank you for that definition. Guys, Pace can't say this for himself, but let's help him out. He has his elephant challenge coming up. So make sure you go to pacemorby.com/invite to sign up for Pace's elephant challenge.
What's an elephant challenge?
Well, the way I understand it is that, when you're looking at real estate, you kind of look at it like it's an elephant, right? Because there's so much. It's so big. It's just like, it can be daunting sometimes. Which way do you go? Do you go cash offers? Do you go creative offers? Do you do a blend of both? Do you do direct to seller? Do you do agent off market? Do you do on market? Do you do 30, 60, 90, notice of default, driving for dollars, pre-foreclosure, tax liens? See what I'm saying?
Yep.
So because there's so much, the way that Pace describes it, it's like eating an elephant, right? How would you eat an elephant?
Yeah.
Bit by bit, by
One
bit,
bite at a
by
time.
bit,
Yep.
by bit, by bit, by bit. So that's the concept that I understand the elephant challenge is. And Pace goes through, how do you handle and approach this business bit by bit by bit? And I think he's walking people across the entire thing. So guys, if you haven't already signed up for Pace's elephant challenge, make sure you do it. pacemorby.com/invite.
Is it a good idea to offer the agent the relist of the flip when wholesaling?
Only if you can, and if you honestly can. Because, Joel, what you're saying here is offer the agent the relist when wholesaling, meaning that you're going to exit the property by wholesaling it, so you don't have the ability to relist the property with the agent. And so offering it to them would be a lie. Right. And so don't do that.
And a buyer's not going to be like, oh yeah, of course.
Yeah. I'm
I'll
going to use
work
your
with them.
agent, or I'm going to uphold the promise that you made to an agent just so you could get the deal. No, that nobody wants to do that. Joel, here's how I handle an agent who asks or who tries to corner me into promising them the relist. Well, I typically say, listen, I work with a host of different vetted real estate agents to list our properties once we've done a remodel. It would be highly unfair of me to just throw you into that when I have people that have been working with us for years that are already in that position. But I'd love to have you in the mix. So once we get this deal done, I'll invite you to my office. You can come meet the other principals in my office, my business partners, and we can figure out how to extend our real estate relationship beyond this transaction.
Now, it's interesting. So what I used to do.
What's popping? I don't know. Can you guys hear a popping sound? People keep saying there's something popping.
Well, I think you're popping.
Oh, I'm popping.
Yeah, the shirt, I think.
Oh.
I think it's like a nice compliment.
Oh.
Yeah, like what's popping? You know what I mean? How are you? Looking good. Everybody likes the white shirt. Everybody likes this.
Keep saying nice things.
I think if I wore a white shirt on here, the internet will explode.
You should try it.
We got some. I'll try it one day. It'll be great. I think, when I was an agent, also wholesaling, I was going to the cash buyers and say, hey, listen, I've got a couple offers on this, but if you want this, I want to list it when you get it all fixed up. Would you hire me to flip it? I mean, if I assign it to you, will you let me list it when you flip it, and that worked out pretty well.
Right.
Yeah. But then I became an agent. I mean, then I was getting more into listing, these cash buyer deals instead of going and finding more deals. And it didn't work out. It was a huge distraction. Yep.
Wow, you guys are like really gassing me up today. Is that do I really look that much better in white than black?
I think you do. I don't know.
Have I got it wrong by having my outfit just be the monochromatic black t-shirt
with the lip gloss on? It's great.
Oh my gosh.
Dear.
I'm not wearing lip gloss. It's called soft lips. It's chapstick.
Oh, there it is. Cut. There you go.
Put a little bit on.
Let me see. Jamil, can you, Brandon, what's up? Great to see you, brother. Can you put relist language in the contract to the buyer? Sometimes agents don't want to send you their deal if they can't relist on the back end.
No, you cannot. You cannot tie your current buyer to a relationship with a real estate agent on the future transaction. There's no way to encumber that and to actually do it in a way that it'll be honored. You can write it in there, but you know what's going to happen? Your buyer's not going to want to honor it. And it's going to turn into a major problem because your agent's going to be angry that the buyer's not going to honor it. I think if your agent wants to be incentivized, then rather than promising them the relist, what you should do is once you assign it, invite the agent to your office and explain to them that you took an exit strategy called, we're not wholesaling, but you did another exit strategy where you moved your contractual rights to one of your funding partners. And for that, you received a fee. That fee being whatever that is. I think if you really want to have future business with that agent, you can offer to share some of your assignment fees with them. That's the relationship that I have with Monique Walker and why she never asked me to relist any properties, but she's always waiting for her true up or the back end on all of our deals because she makes tremendously more money than 3 or 6% on our transactions because I'm sharing my assignment fees with her.
Well, and Monique's an agent that works every neighborhood, not just a specific tiny little market.
Correct.
So I could see, some people that work like luxury markets or their little markets in their suburbs, if they were to sell you those deals. But usually those agents aren't the ones bringing you those deals. It's usually the ones that are out there making calls every single morning, like Monique Walker, from 7 a.m. to 11 a.m., finding new opportunities.
Agreed.
Yeah. Here we go. Offasan, how do you get your offers across via email or phone dealing with agents? I like to get as much information over the phone as possible. And then at some point they're going to tell you, put it in writing. Put it in writing. But I like pulling out all the little juicy details, all the in-betweens that you don't see just from a listing, from building a relationship over time and really understanding what is going on with this seller. What offers have they rejected so far? Why did they reject them? What would they do if they didn't sell this property? Are they open to getting that price, but in payments? Like really asking those questions, really feeling them out, trying to see what has their relationship been with their client.
Yeah.
And then at some point you're going to have to put it in writing.
I also want to add to that, when you just send off a lower offer to a real estate agent in the email and without any conversation. And this is why I don't believe in using buyer's agents, okay?
Right.
Because here's what's happening. Here's what happens. You use a buyer's agent, okay? And you send them, say, five houses to write offers on. So what does that buyer's agent do? They essentially write 5 offers and they email them to those 5 listing agents without calling them, without building any rapport, without having any conversation, without anything. They just email off the offers. And literally 100% of those offers are going to be rejected.
Yeah.
And this is why, okay? That listing agent, think of it this way. That listing agent is in an employment situation with that seller. Mm-hmm. That seller hired that listing agent to sell that property. Now, all of a sudden, you're asking somebody to take an offer to their seller, which basically, because it's lower than what they had thought they were going to get, you're asking the listing agent to go to the seller and say, I suck.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's what that low offer is,
Mhm.
right? It's basically them saying, I couldn't sell it for what we wanted to sell it for. I suck. Here's a low offer. Doesn't work.
No.
But if you call the listing agent and if you come to terms with them and you align with them and you make them understand where you're coming from and you show them the craziness of their pricing and why it's never going to sell at that, and you extract the motivation and you extract the details and you extract the reasons why the person is selling, and then you incentivize that agent with an additional 3% in commission, you have now incentivized them to take that offer to their seller and see if it'll actually go.
Yeah.
That's why you do it.
Or guys, don't do it. And that'll make our offers go a lot easier. For real. Right?
Yes.
Because you get to leverage the people that are being amateurish.
100%.
Right? Not
100%.
saying anybody on here. Take Jamil's advice. That's why we're on here, so that you guys don't make those mistakes. But everybody that's not watching this will make those mistakes and just send blind offers in. And then the agent will go, oh, well, we had an offer at whatever, 90% of the list.
Right.
80% of the list. And we had this, and this, and this. Okay, great. How'd those turn out? Oh, it's just those dirty wholesalers. They didn't even see it. Lowballing us. We're not getting, it's not a real offer. Okay. Well, when do you think they'll consider a real cash offer on the property? And then you pull out all this information. But if people are sending them in offers that don't go anywhere, it frustrates the seller to the point where all of a sudden they're ready to take a real cash offer or cancel the listing.
Yep.
I mean, that's the truth. Pace was telling me Brent, and I'm trying to
first and foremost, Pace, did I accurately describe the elephant challenge, Pace? I want to know. I think I did. I think I did a good job. And again, if
okay.
Yeah, if you guys have not already, go to pacemorby.com/ what was it? Just what's his his challenge email again, or the website?
Yeah, he wants me to talk about the percentages, and I'll get there in just a second. Right, invite right here. pacemorby.com/invite for the elephant challenge. There you go. So here's the deal. Matt, are you able to pull that up? I don't know if we're able to pull this up, a graphic, but the 50, 35% and 10. So basically here's the deal. So if you want to do a quick comp and to be a master at comping, watch Straight Out Comping with Jamil. But this is just simple. Take the three averages of Zillow, Redfin, Realtor.com, add them together, smoosh them together, divide by 3. You're going to get kind of an idea of what the fix-up value is going to be. It's not perfect. It's not what you should do your whole career, but it'll be quick and easy and be able to get you an idea of what that property is.
And then what should they do? Offer half of that?
And then if it's above $250,000, you offer 50%. If it's between 250 and 100,000, you offer 35%. And if it's below that, if it's below 100,000, you offer 10%. Right there. Boom.
Wow.
Right there. So if you just want to do a fast comp. Now listen, guys, if you're up there and
I'd love to test this on a Straight Out. You should come with me onto a Straight Out Comping.
Yeah.
And let's comp using the percentages of ARV. Yep. Let's comp using these 3. Something tells me that it'll be pretty damn close.
It'll be close.
It'll be pretty damn close. And so let's test it, because guys, this is what we need to do. We want to find, how do we do this more efficiently? How can we do this faster? The faster you can run your numbers, the more offers you can send out every day, especially for you guys that got W-2 jobs that are like, man, I only got a half an hour to get this done every day. How am I going to get 5 offers out when it takes me 30 minutes to comp a house?
Right. One more time, Matt. Pull that up, guys. Take a screenshot of it, and you could just go off as estimate if you want to do that. I like going after all 3 just to kind of get an idea if there's a range. And obviously, listen, guys, if this is really, really, really accurate for most properties. If it's up in the millions, you probably have to make some adjustments there. But again, in the millions, you've got costs of repairs, you got costs of appliances, you got costs of fixtures, you got all sorts of different costs. Permitting costs, all sorts of things. So that's just that is for ugly houses, guys. That's for ugly houses that need renovation. And that should get you
when
pretty close.
somebody sends you a house that's been remodeled, Brent,
Yeah.
and they say, "Hey, can you help me comp this deal?"
Mm-hmm.
What's the first thing you think?
How much do they want? Listen, if they want a smoking deal, great. I mean, it depends. I want to know the situation first, but I'll tell you this: 99 out of 100 times they want retail.
Always.
Right?
Yep.
I mean, that's what we're working with. So we go after distressed properties. We go after the 6 to 10%
ugly houses
of the market. Yes.
Ugly houses, guys. Ugly houses, big checks.
That's
ugly
it.
houses, big checks.
Mm-hmm.
Not pretty houses, big checks. Ugly houses, big checks.
We're not dealing with 90 to 94% of the market. We're dealing with the 6 to 10% of the market.
Yes.
So even if a property is on there and it's beautiful and it's been sitting for 100 days, go ahead, offer them whatever you want to offer them. Offer them 50% and see what they say. Get their bottom line out of them. But for the most part, there has to be a reason why they want to sell it. There has to be speed and convenience that they're looking for. And then they'll negotiate the price. Speed, convenience, and price. Every seller gets two of them. Speed, convenience, and price.
How do you get directly to a seller or a listing agent? I mean, it's by looking, right? So if you're looking at properties on the market, it'll tell you who the listing agent is. If a property is listed by a listing agent, you don't go directly to the seller. That's not how that works. When somebody has entered into a listing agreement with a real estate agent, you have to work through the listing agent or through a realtor in order to work on that property. It's bad form to contact that seller directly. But if you want to contact sellers directly, I mean, you can. There's a number of ways to do it. One of our favorite ways is to use a tool like Batch Leads, where you can get an incredible list of, say, distressed property owners for whatever reason. They could be in pre-foreclosure. They could have tax liens. They could have HOA liens. They could be landlords that have filed evictions. They could be landlords that have owned a property for longer than 10 years, right? There's so many different types of lists that you can get. And then you can skip trace those lists and then contact those homeowners directly. And guys, for as many steaming dumps as I've taken on direct to seller, it works. It works. Direct to seller works. I'm never going to tell you that direct to seller doesn't work. It's just the way that I do business is different. And so, of course, I'm going to talk about the way that I do business. And the way that I do business is more of a relationship approach. And I work with other wholesalers. I work with other real estate agents. And the way that I've done it is a more of a referral way so that I don't have to be on the phone all the time.
But you have to evolve to that. You have to get business from your referral base.
Correct.
You have to.
Ultimately, if you want to
just
stay in this long enough, you've got to evolve to the way that I do it.
Well, yeah, if you want to be profitable.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, 100%. And listen, if you had 30 Monique Walkers, well, you do.
I do, yeah. But
game over.
You become the biggest wholesaler in the nation.
Game over. You know what I mean?
It happens, yeah.
I know. I mean, that's how you do it. But you also you have to have the buyer base.
Yes.
You have to have the buyer base unless you're going to buy it yourself. You know what I mean? So it's a two-sided monster there, where one, yes, you have to build the referrals and have people that know, like, and trust you, know that you can close deals, but you got to have the buyers on the other side to be able to get those closed. That's the two sides of that. I mean, it all comes down to lead generation. Who are you going to talk to? You're going to talk to other investors, other agents that are going to bring you more deals over the lifetime of your career. It's the truth.
That's it.
Yeah. I mean, it's building that database. It's the core. It's the core people that'll refer you. If you had 30 people refer you one deal a year, that's a $450,000 business with zero marketing.
I did a deal today with Monique
with a
Walker.
$15,000 average.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah. She sent me a deal today. A nice little condominium townhome here in Phoenix, Arizona. ARV on it was $290. Picked it up for $160.
Mm-hmm.
And we just sold it today for $200.
Boom.
$40,000, guys. And guess what? I didn't call Monique. She called me.
Mm-hmm.
It's all inbound.
Mm-hmm.
I'd have $1 million a year plus business inbound.
Well, how'd you find her?
I cold called her.
That's right.
Yeah. I started
Yeah.
outbound, and then it turns into inbound.
If you build the relationships.
If you build the relationships, correct.
If you treat people like they're just going to send you one deal, they'll send you one deal. If
Right.
you build a relationship where you expect to get hundreds of deals,
right.
they're going to filter out, and you're going to find the people that are going to refer you incredible business. Here we
Yusuf.
go, Yusuf. Come on.
Yeah, baby. Congratulations, Yusuf. We're proud of you, man. Keep it going. Keep it going. That's just the beginning for you, bro.
The last question was asking about comps. Did you see that?
Oh, yeah, no, let's go to it. I apologize. I wanted to celebrate.
It was an yeah, me too, always. It was about comping if it's in if it's in a zip code, not the same zip code, but you don't cross any borders.
Okay. Can we talk comps for a minute, Sean? Yeah, cool.
Look at that cool face.
And then he puts cool.
Yeah, cool.
Can you comp in a different town / zip code, even if it's within 0.5 miles and not crossing any major roads? So what I think Sean's saying is that the town actually changes.
Yeah.
So once you go over a certain threshold, you go from, like, say, Beantown to P-Town.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
So, no, those comps will not apply the same. Okay? You have to stay in the same town. Right? Now, I'm saying, if there's no comps in Beantown and you have to use a comp from P-Town, okay, it's not impossible that you could use the comp, but you have to make sure that there's no comps closer to you that you're not overlooking just to use one that's higher over there.
Because it makes your deal look better.
Yes, that's the thing, that we can't do gymnastics to try to make our deal better than it actually is. Meaning, we do not ignore comps that are right in front of us or in our subdivision or right nearby because they don't tell a narrative that we want to tell, just to use a comp that's in another town because it says that we have a higher ARV. That's the problem that we typically do as wholesalers, is we so badly want to make what's not a deal that we're willing to use fictitious comps or fictitious benchmarks to try to paint a picture that's not really there. So, Sean, just make sure that that's not what's happening.
Love it. Well, and somebody mentioned that maybe the taxes are different, property
Yeah,
taxes
possibly.
in that area.
Property taxes are different.
School
districts are different. Could be different governments.
Right.
So many things could change from town to town. So it could be a completely different type of area. You know.
Yep. This is a great question. Alan asks, in that, is the 35% and 10% the amount you offer or the amount you deduct from the list price and then offer the difference? Well, that little chart there was for off-market properties, Alan. For on-market properties, what do you suggest?
For on-market properties, it really depends on how long the property's been listed on the MLS, right?
Say it's 60 days.
You're 60 days on the MLS. At minimum, you need to be $50,000 below list price. At minimum, you got to be $50K below list price in your contract price. Otherwise, there's not going to be enough of a gap between list price and what you're selling. Because remember, if you offer $50K below list, you still have to add on top of that to get a profit. You still have to make a fee, right? So that now pushes you up to maybe $40K below list. And so your value proposition that you're offering a buyer becomes less and less and less with your profit margin and the closer you get to your list price. So again, Alan, minimum $50K below MLS list price when a property's been on the market for some time.
You see an ugly property on the market, right? Do you comp it?
Yeah.
Before you call the agent?
Well, there's differing schools of thought. Right. Okay. For me, I'm so fast at comping that yes, I would.
Right.
But for people that may not be, no, just call them up and ask. Pace has some pretty genius lines that he likes to ask realtors, and I think that they really work. Right. So one of the things that he likes to say is, hi, tell me why this house hasn't sold yet. Tell me the story. What's going on with this property? Why haven't you been able to sell the house yet? So you want to extract from them that information, right? He also will use a line like, catch me up to speed on what's going on with this house. So use that. Extract information from the seller. Find out what's going on. Why hasn't the house sold yet? And then you can figure out motivation. You can figure out whether or not this is actually going to be an opportunity for you. I've been actually using Pace's line a little bit since I've been back on the phones talking to realtors, just making these disrespectful offers. I love telling people, I don't think I'm your buyer.
Yeah.
And just hearing, like, I can actually feel their stomach drop on the other line of the phone because they're like, oh, but I need you to be my buyer.
Uh-huh.
And it's like, as soon as you start telling somebody that's got like dying to sell a house right now that you're not their buyer, they're like, why? Just be my buyer. So like these things actually work, guys. Like use them.
Yeah, I love that 50,000. I get it all the time. I mean, my in my community, in the TTP family, I get people that text me every day on market deals. They're rough, and they've been on for a while. And so you're sitting there, and you're like, okay, well, what's the story? Why hasn't it sold? Well, they had some offers, but it fell through.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, you better go real low on this. And usually these are in markets where, the properties fixed up value or between 200 and 300.
Yep.
And they're listed for like 140.
Yep.
Right. And they need a lot of work. They're older properties.
Yep.
And you have to build in a significant spread there, because every buyer that is interested in that area has said no at that price.
Correct.
Every buyer.
Correct.
And just because you go and you lock it up for 20,000 less and try to put 10 on it and sell it to them doesn't mean that they haven't seen it or that it's going to be interesting to them.
Yeah. No, minimum $50K.
You're not going to find that buyer that like is an alien that just came down to earth with a bunch of cash and they're just going to fix up houses.
No.
Or some foreign buyer that's going to come and they don't care.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right,
That's just not going to happen.
Right.
These are savvy buyers left now. And they know what's going on in the market. They know what's going on in the inventory.
And they really want value. Yeah.
They want a deal.
Now, the only place where that might change is if something's brand new listed on market, like a freshie fresh, just been on the market one day.
Mm-hmm.
You can be closer to list price than 50K below, but I still think you need to be significantly below. So my gut is if you're on market, first day on market, you still got to be 25, 30K below list price in your offer so that you can still have a value proposition for your buyer.
Awesome.
But they get harder to sell. The closer you get to list price, the harder the deal is to sell.
Of course.
Yeah.
I mean, unless you're in like a very, very, very popular,
competitive
exclusive
market
area, but you usually aren't going to get a 1 day, you're not going to snatch it up the first day it's on the market without other competition.
Right.
Right?
Yep.
I mean, maybe if it's like a holiday, but even then people are looking. You know what I mean? The real buyers are out there hunting for opportunities. So just make sure that, listen to Jamil, get it 50 grand under what they have it listed at minimum. I like going 50 to 70% off the list price to see how far they will go.
Yeah.
If it's been on and they've had it under contract 2 or 3 times and it's fallen out and it's a total, like it's a rough house, 100%.
Pace and I were speaking in Fresno the other day, and I was on stage and I told people offer half.
Yes.
You're saying go to 75%. I'm saying hell yeah.
Yeah.
Try that too.
50 to 70, depending on the price. Like if it's
try that too.
If it's under 150,000, offer them 30% of that.
Yep.
I mean, some of these properties, people are still listing properties on the market, totally beat up, need total renovations for like 10 grand off of retail price. They are. Every day of the week, every minute, every second of the day, somebody puts their property on the market and thinks that it's worth way more than it is.
This is interesting. What's a great way to tell an agent that you'll give them half your assignment fee? Well, you wait until you actually have a deal done. Okay. You do not ever start a relationship with a real estate agent saying, hey, send me, or let's do deals together. And send me anything that you have coming to market that's in original condition or in distressed condition needing work, and I'll share with you half my assignment fee.
They won't even know what it is.
They're going to be like, what?
Yeah.
Excuse me?
Yeah.
So it's not a conversation you have out the gate. It's a conversation that you have later on. So once you've been successful, you got a deal done, then you can call them into your office, have a phone call, Zoom call, go meet them in person, take them for lunch or coffee, and then tell them, look, I have a way for you to make way more money than you're making right now, and you're 3%. I'm gonna change your life with actually letting you share in my profits.
Do you know what blows real estate agents' minds? This is what blows real estate agents' minds. When you get a signed purchase agreement, you now have an asset.
Yep, you do.
That is a total paradigm shift. That's a reframing of everything that they know about real estate. Everything. Because we're just all taught you're a buyer or you're a seller or you're an agent and you get in the middle of buyers and sellers. But when you when you have that signed purchase agreement, you have something that you can sell.
Yep.
That's an asset.
Yep.
Agents don't understand that. So when you show them, after you get that deal done and you show them that you sold that contract and, hey, you want to do this thing 50-50 with me on these deals?
You want to make more money than the $3,000 that you made on this deal last time? Yep.
What? This is bananas. I never knew that this was an option. By the way, most agents don't go, oh, well, then I'll just be a wholesaler now. They don't.
No, they never do, but they never do.
Right?
They
Why?
say, let's do, because they still don't get it. They still don't, they don't have the buyers. They don't know what you're doing. They know what they're doing. They know what they do. And all they have to do then is continue to bring you those opportunities, and they'll go out and look. Monique has had an opportunity to be a wholesaler for the last decade working with me.
Yep.
You know, she has. And she's admitted to me.
Yep.
There's been some times, Jamil, where I thought, hey, why do I need Jamil?
Yeah.
And she tried to do it a couple of times on her own, and it turned into a big crap show for her.
Uh-huh.
And she was like, oh, now I know why I need Jamil.
Uh-huh.
Because he's dealing with all these psychopaths over here. He's handling all of this.
Yeah.
All I got to do is bring him the opportunities, and then he's making it all work on the other side.
Right.
So even if they do try to do it by themselves, they will very quickly come back and let you handle your piece.
Yeah, they just want to be paid. They just want to eat the sandwich. They don't want to make the sandwich. They don't want to know where the sandwich came from. They don't want to know who's back there slicing the meat. They don't want to know any of that. They just want to eat the sandwich.
Yep.
And it's incredible. I mean, these are people that have been in real estate for forever. I've been running a lot. I've been trying to pull real estate agents into our world.
And how you been doing?
Terrible.
It's hard, right?
Terrible.
Yeah, it's like they've got this like imaginary shield up that's just not it. You know what it is though? It's going to take time for the real estate agent world to really embrace wholesaling, but it will. And and folks like yourself, myself, Pace Morby, and the rest of you guys out there doing good business, you will be the reason why real estate agents embrace wholesaling.
Yeah.
You will be the reason why they will work in this world more, because you're going to show them why this model is A, lucrative, B, ethical, and C, better for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Look at how many folks are in here helping newbies in the chat.
It.
This is incredible.
I love it. This is your meetup for the day right here.
Like, you got,
make sure that you're putting where you live, where you do business. Squad up in the comments section.
Yes.
That is the whole point. I can't tell you how much money has been made during this show. We've done 145, almost 3 full years of shows. Isn't that banana?
Crazy.
Bananas.
It's total bananas.
Yep.
I cannot believe that we've been at this for so long, and I still love Mondays so much. I love coming here. I love being a part of this community. I look at how we've grown, dude. You know, Wholesale Hotline, when we first started, we would hold a little phone in front of our face and put it on speaker, and we didn't even have like real mics, so we were using like the headphone microphones, and we were putting it up to the phone. Like, it was, do you remember that?
Yes.
Like,
I remember it was, people are talking and just keep beeping.
Yeah.
Beep, beep.
Yeah.
People trying to call in. It was a hotline. It was an actual hotline, and then it just turned into that was too much. We were able to answer a lot more questions and get on our soapboxes a lot more this way. So
what a thing.
But thank you all in this week of Thanksgiving. Thank you guys all for participating, not just in the show here and in the comments, but with all of you guys, the way that you guys connect. You know, it's wonderful seeing people, and you guys have the opportunity to see so many people around the country that are connected because of the show and because of their love for wholesaling and real estate and being an entrepreneur and doing something that's difficult. It is hard. It is different. It is going out there and doing something that is not common in the general population. You do not get praised at the family reunion for wholesaling real estate. You might get praised for, being a real estate investor, but not for wholesaling, because people don't know what the hell it is.
Yeah.
So it's so critical to squat up with people that understand what you're doing, because they're doing it as well.
Yep. Denise Abreu sent me a text message today. She said 18th deal completed today.
Come on, Denise. Come on, Denise.
Amazing.
Absolutely
amazing,
incredible.
And like, this is what a beautiful world, what a beautiful life we get to have, and with you guys. You know what the number one question Pace and I were asked when we were in Fresno? Where's Brent Daniels? Peggy, a sub 2 student, said, I thought we were going to have a PB&J sandwich here, and so you were very missed. You were very missed out there.
I'll have to get out more this year.
But we explained that, hey guys, we're all in different seasons. Brent's got a really young family, and so he's got to do what he's doing. But we are going to have Brent come out with us a lot more in the coming months, and we'd love to have Brent join us on more of our pop-up events. So, guys, keep on the lookout for when we will be in your town. And if you see this handsome banana man with us, take the opportunity to come out and meet, shake hands, and connect with all the people that show up to these events, because it's incredible. It's incredible.
And don't slow down right now. I mean, I understand this week is there's a lot going on, a lot to be grateful for, a lot of connecting with family, but keep pushing. I mean, go as long as you can this week, but keep pushing after this week. I mean, push all the way up to the end of the year. I mean, that's what's going to really set you up on a really, really, really strong beginning of 2023. And 2023 could be the strongest year that you've ever had. But it starts now. It literally starts this week. This week starts what happens in the first quarter of 2023. So make sure that you are pushing hard. You have any live events, any shows?
Yeah, we're doing something tomorrow, aren't we?
Yes, well, we are, yeah.
So I'm going to be doing a live stream with Brent Daniels tomorrow for Thanksgiving. We're going to do a Thanksgiving show. I don't know what that entails, but we will be here. What time is that at? 10 a.m. AZ time, right? 10
a.m. Mountain Standard Time. We're going to go absolutely bananas. We've got some great guests. We've got Luke Rotfold and his partner Jake Landis are coming in.
Incredible.
The Viking boys. They're absolutely incredible. If you're not following them on Instagram, make sure that you do. We've got Steve Trang popping in.
Really?
Out of nowhere.
Wow.
Right?
What time will he be here?
He will be here at 11:15.
Oh, good. Okay. I'll make sure I leave by 11.
Oh, he's out of here. Okay.
And I love Steve Trang. Are you kidding me? Come on.
And then we've got Rafael Cortez.
I love Rafael. Wow, it's going to be a great day here tomorrow.
A lot of good energy.
You all wish you were here.
So come on in, 10 a.m. tomorrow, Mountain Standard Time.
Beyond
Make
that.
sure, let's get, will you put up, I don't know. If you guys, Pace has his link up there.
PaceMorby.com/invite.
PaceMorby.com/PaceJMorby or just Pace Morby?
I think it's PaceMorby.com/invite. For those of you that were asking for how to get a proof of funds, you can email flipfundllc@gmail.com.
There you go.
And I will get you a proof of funds. Also, somebody asked what's happening in New Jersey. Pace, myself, DJ Envy, and Caesar, or also known as Flipping NJ, are doing a live meetup in New Jersey on November 30th. If you are in the New York or New Jersey area, there's going to be thousands of real estate investors in the same place that night, November 30th. Bobby, if you're on this live stream, can you put the link to that in the chat for the people that are asking for that? It's going to be an incredible turnout, guys. We've already got like 3,500 people signed up to attend that event.
Holy cow.
Guys,
3,500 people?
It's going to be bananas.
Bananas, indeed.
Bananas. I don't know how we're going to fit all those people in the spot, so get there early. Let me see if I can find the link here. I know we're supposed to be done right now, but anyways, I don't know.
We'll put it up. We'll put it up tomorrow during the live show. Make sure that you connect, and we'll see you in the morning. Love you guys. See ya.
Later.
Or just say squat up.
So squat up and enjoy the show.
Yep.
Yep. Okay.
1, 2, 3.
So squat up and enjoy the show.
What are you doing?
I didn't say that thing.
Why?
I don't know.
Okay.
So squat up and enjoy the show.
Cool. I think we should use the one where Jamil doesn't say anything.